We are back yet again to talk all about wellness fitness trackers and how they compare. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the brand new Samsung Galaxy Ring and how it stacks up to the competition with the metrics that it collects. And specifically today, we'll be comparing the Samsung Galaxy Ring I have here to all these other devices. These other devices being the Whoop Band 4.0 and the Whoop platform at large, the Oura Ring, because I think that makes the most sense to compare to, and finally, my Garmin Forerunner 965 in some of the key wellness metrics that the Garmin Connect platform does collect. And before we get into the weeds and all of the different metrics, I do want to mention that this video is not sponsored or anything like that. I'm just making it because I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think there is some confusion about each one of these platforms and how they work. So hopefully this video will help you compare and contrast and give you the information you need to make a purchasing decision. With that out of the way, I'm going to do a quick introduction of each platform, and then we're going to compare some of the data side by side. So first up, we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Ring I have here. It's in the charging case because the battery actually died. And for those of you wondering how much battery I got out of my size 8 ring here, it was about 5 days, which is right in line with the spec sheet that they have. So that's a good thing. So here is my Samsung Galaxy Ring, and here is the Samsung Health app. And if you didn't watch my review about this device, the major unique thing about the Samsung Galaxy Ring is that it's one of the few devices on the market that can work collaboratively with other devices. So for example, I've got the Samsung Galaxy Ring on my finger here, but I've also got the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra on my wrist here. And depending which one I'm wearing at a given time or day, depending if I'm sleeping and I don't want to wear my watch, or maybe I'm out on a run and I'm not wearing my ring, Samsung Health will intelligently pull that data from the right device, knowing which one I'm wearing. And just as a quick note, in terms of compatibility with the Samsung Galaxy Ring, it only works with Android phones or Samsung Galaxy phones. And for the best experience, you're going to want to use a Samsung Galaxy phone like I have here, because a few extra features are enabled on Galaxy devices, though it will work on any Android, modern day Android phone. Now, if I scroll down, this is where I get into all of my health and wellness metrics. First up, we've got an area here where I can start a manual activity for a run, a bike ride, or other workout, being anything like strength training or high intensity workout, something like that. Now, the idea behind the manual workout function is that you can actually use your Samsung Galaxy Ring or your watch as a heart rate sensor paired to your phone to record an activity. With that being said, the Samsung Galaxy Ring will actually automatically detect when you're working out. Now, below the manual activity function, you do have your workouts for the week. And if I dive into this, you'll see all of the automatically detected workouts I just talked about here. Below that, you've got your step count and activity for the day. So I've got step count, active minutes for the day, and calories burned. And you might notice these are pretty low right now, and that's because my Ring battery actually died this morning and I had to put it in the case to charge it back up. So I didn't get all of my wellness data for today, but that's okay. That's besides the point for this video. Scrolling down is where we get to the good stuff. First up, we've got my sleep score here and all of my sleep metrics. And then below that, we have my sleep score factors that play a role in that sleep score. Anything red here is sort of a red flag that is something that lowered that score. For example, here, my sleep time from last night wasn't great. It was only 6 hours, 56 minutes, so I got a score of 88, which is still pretty good. Now, scrolling down even further, we've got my sleep stages and a whole bunch of details about my previous night of sleep. Going back to the dashboard here, we've got food intake, so you can manually enter your food here if you want to track your diet. You can also manually enter your body composition from your smart scale at home. You've got cycle tracking for women's health, your water intake. Again, this is a manual thing to add water as you go. I don't do that because it's just kind of a hassle. And then down the bottom here, you've got your all-day heart rate, your stress tracking through the day. My stress is pretty high right now because I'm recording a video, my blood oxygen saturation, and finally, the energy score, which is kind of the new and exciting feature of the Samsung Galaxy platform and Samsung Health. The energy score is basically a score that's on a 0 to 100 scale that tries to give you an idea of how much energy you have to take on the day ahead. You get this score once in the morning. That score will not change throughout the day. It's just sort of a snapshot of your energy level when you wake up. So scrolling down from the energy score page here, you can see all of the factors that play a role in the energy score. And all of these gray ones are in their good levels. So that's my sleep time, my average sleep consistency, my bed wake time, my sleep timing, and so on. But you can see here, there's one that's red that says attention next to it. So that red color is indicating that that particular metric is the one playing a role in my rather low energy score this morning of 57 out of 100. And if I dive into that, you can see that it's basically telling me that I'm working out too much. much. I'm probably overtraining, or that's what it's trying to tell me. So here you can see my previous day activity. It shows 3 bars here and where I land on each bar. The first one is active time. So I've got 158 active minutes. And then below that, we've got my moderate to vigorous exercise time. And it's showing sort of a graph where I should be in that green zone there and where I am just outside of it. Quick interruption. If you're finding this video helpful or valuable or useful in any way, I would really appreciate it if you went down and gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below, because it turns out not many of you are subscribed and you keep watching my videos. So go subscribe. Okay, back to the video. So that's Samsung Health in a nutshell and all of the metrics that I've been recording from the Galaxy Ring. Now we're gonna look at these metrics again later in this video when we compare things side by side, but for now, let's move on to the Oura Ring. All right, so as you can see here, I've got my Oura Ring Horizon here. This is the stealth gray, carbon gray color, I believe it's called. And then I've got the Oura app open on my phone here. So it's a bit different the way they lay things out, and it's not gonna be an apples to apples comparison, but hopefully this gives you an idea on the way these two different platforms look. So right at the top here, I've got my activity goal for the day, including how much calories I should burn today, and my inactive time, and my activity score. I can also go ahead and manually record a workout, just like on the Galaxy Ring. I can do that here with the Oura Ring as well. However, just like with the Galaxy Ring, the Oura Ring will automatically detect your workouts as well. Now scrolling down, we've got my daytime stress level. So you can see what time I woke up. That's a little bed icon at the beginning there. And then there's a graph of my stress level throughout the day. And as you can see there, it gives me a little summary that says relaxed. Scrolling down, we've got my heart rate throughout the day. So this is 75 beats per minute. I'm not wearing the ring right now, obviously, but that's what it recorded last time it was on me. Scrolling down further, we get the Oura readiness score. Now this is Oura's form of the energy score that the Samsung Galaxy Ring uses. It's a very similar metric. It's sort of built up with the same factors. And as you can see, my readiness score today is good. All of these metrics are sort of located in the Oura homepage or dashboard, and it sort of truncates everything down to a nice clean interface with basic information, so it's not too confusing. And I do like that they have these little blurbs below everything to sort of spell things out to let you know what's going on. Now, if you want even more data about any particular metric, you can simply tap on them, or you can jump into each one of these tabs at the bottom of the screen here. One for readiness, one for sleep, one for activity, and one for resilience. So that's the Oura Ring. Now let's move on to the Whoop Band. In particular, this is the Whoop Band 4.0 here. This is a device I've been testing for a long time, and I actually do like the way it works. The only thing I don't love about it is the rather expensive subscription. Again, if you want to learn all about the Whoop Band and how it works, check out my videos all about that. I've got multiple on this channel. What's great about the Whoop Band is that you can actually wear this device in multiple ways. You can wear it on your wrist with the included wristband that comes in the box. You can wear it up on your bicep by buying the third-party bicep band or the one directly from Whoop, or what I've been doing lately is actually wearing it in my clothing. Whoop actually has a whole product line of clothing called Whoop Body Apparel, and that's made up of sports bras and underwear and all kinds of different things that have a special little pocket for the Whoop module itself that you can tuck it into. That's all besides the point though. Let's take a look at the data. So here is the Whoop app, and I gotta say, the Whoop app is really well polished, it's really well put together, it looks really pretty, and it does provide some interesting insight into your health metrics. So here you've got today's stats. Right at the top here, you've got my recovery score of 76%, my HRV from my previous night of sleep that says 39, it's kind of low. Then we've got my strain of 1.2 because I haven't really done any activities today yet, and my sleep score of 100%. Scrolling down on the overview page here, you can see today's activities included my sleep from the previous night. Tells me I got 9 hours of sleep. I woke up at 7:27 a.m. and then it shows what time I should go to bed tonight for my optimal performance tomorrow. So I should get to bed by at least 10:16 p.m. tonight, and I should wake up by 6:30 a.m. So if you had a big day the day before and you didn't sleep well that night, it'll actually show that you have a sleep deficit in the Whoop app and that you need to sort of make up for that previous day, which I do think is kind of cool. Now below that, you'll get your key statistics like your HRV, your sleep performance, and your calories burned, and then your stress monitor throughout the day. So right now it's telling me I have low stress, but I did have some stress this morning when my kids woke up and I had to make everybody breakfast. The cool thing about the Whoop platform is that they do give you these little blurbs to explain what's going on here. So here it says I'm primed to perform perform, and it gives me a little blurb on what this score actually means and what to do with it. And then swiping over one more time, we get the Whoop strain score. Now the strain score is a bit different than all of these other platforms. For example, the Oura Ring, the Galaxy Ring, and Garmin all collect like a step count and calories burned, and they show your recent workouts and things like that. Where Whoop tends to not care so much about the granular metrics like your step count. I don't even think Whoop collects a step count, for example, but they kind of roll it all together into a strain score based on your heart rate data. So if you go out on an epic run or a hike or a bike ride, you'll see your strain score go way up. In fact, I've seen mine all the way up to like 15 or 16 after running something like an ultra marathon, like a 50K or something like that. But in this example, I haven't done much today, so my strain score is 1.2. What I like about the Whoop platform is that they are laser focused on sleep, recovery, and strain, and sort of ignore everything else. And the cool thing is how they correlate your sleep, recovery, and strain together on one graph. Right at the top here, you've got these rings. It shows my recovery score, my strain score, and my sleep, and how they all relate together. And it just makes a lot of sense. So that's the Whoop Band 4.0 and the Whoop app in a nutshell. Now let's move into the final platform I want to talk about in this video, and that is Garmin Connect. So here in Garmin Connect, we've got a different interface. Right at the top here, there's a section called In Focus, and this will show me some of the key metrics I want to look at right off the bat when I get into the app. That's going to be my sleep score here, and then I can swipe horizontally, my body battery, which we'll talk about in a minute, my step count for the day, my training readiness for the day, and my training status. It says unproductive, that's fun. Now scrolling down from that in focus area, you can go into all these other tiles or widgets. So you can see my sleep coach is recommending that I sleep for 7.5 hours tonight. That's similar to the Whoop platform. Then we've got all these at a glance tiles like my heart rate, my intensity minutes, my calories burned, my stress for the day, and any events I have coming up in the future. These could be race events or something like that. And then way down at the bottom of the page here, you've got two different segments. This segment here is my previous day of metrics. So I've got my sleep score, my body battery, my step count, my heart rate from yesterday, my intensity minutes, my calories burned, and my stress tracking for the previous day. And then below that is a segment that averages out the past 7 days of all those same metrics. And of course, just like the other platforms, if you want more information about any one of these metrics, you can simply tap on them. For example, my sleep here, I can dive into, see my overall sleep duration and all of my nitty gritty sleep metrics down below that, like my resting heart rate and my restless moments here. And the same goes for something like body battery. And body battery is interesting because it's similar to the Oura Ring readiness score and the Samsung Galaxy Ring energy score and the Whoop Band recovery score. These are all kind of the same metric. However, Garmin's body battery is a little bit different because as you can see, it actually changes throughout the day. The nice thing about body battery is that it's not only viewable within the app in Garmin Connect, you can also view it directly on your watch by diving into the body battery widget here. And then you've got the same information from the app directly on your watch, which is kind of handy. Another unique metric to the Garmin ecosystem is called training readiness. So what you're seeing here is my training readiness, which says 75 or high. Now this is different than body battery in that it's particularly interested in training. And for me, that's going to be running activities. So it's taking all of the factors that play a role in training specifically and not everyday wellness. That's going to be your sleep score, your recovery time from the previous activity, your HRV status, your acute training load, your sleep score, and your stress history. It's going to take all of those factors and roll it up into one score. And for me today, that's 70 out of 100, saying I could probably go for a pretty decent run today. Now that we've gone through all these different platforms and how they work, let's take a look at some comparison data. So first up, let's talk about a sleep comparison from all of these different devices and how each one recorded the same night of sleep. And for this example, I'm using last night, which was pretty good for me. I got a pretty decent night of sleep, except for my 2-year-old waking me up kind of early this morning. The first comparison I want to do here is between Garmin and the Samsung Galaxy Ring. So on the left, I've got Samsung Health. On the right, I've got the Garmin Connect app open, and both are displaying the same night of sleep. So right off the bat, you can see there's a pretty big difference. The Samsung Galaxy Ring collected almost 7 hours of sleep duration, where Garmin told me I got about 8.5 hours of sleep duration. However, if we do look at each one of these sleep scores, we've got 88 for a sleep score on the Galaxy Ring, and we've got 81 as a sleep score on the Garmin platform. So pretty similar there. Now, if we scroll down, we've got the same factors between each platform. First up is sleep duration. We've got 8.5 hours on Garmin. We've got 6 hours, 56 minutes on the Galaxy Ring, so big deviation there. And then we've got a number of different factors that play a role in each one's sleep score, but they're both pretty similar. Another comparison here are sleep stages. So here you can see that on the Samsung Galaxy Ring, we got 1 hour and 15 minutes of deep sleep. On the Garmin platform, we got 1 hour and 38 minutes of deep sleep. So again, pretty similar. But generally speaking, it looks like the sleep data between Garmin Connect and the Samsung Galaxy Ring are pretty similar, with the only big factor being different being the total sleep duration. With the Garmin sleep data out of the way, let's take a look at a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Ring on the left and the Oura Ring on the right. Same day of sleep. And as you can see, the total sleep duration is wildly different here as well. So here on the Oura Ring, we've got 8 hours of total sleep. On the Galaxy Ring, again, we've got about 7 hours of total sleep. And just to remind you, on the Garmin, we got about 8.5 hours of total sleep. So these are all kind of all over the place. And then if we scroll down, you can see very similar data between the sleep contributors on Oura on the right here and the sleep factors on the Galaxy Ring on the left here. And the red items here, again, are the ones you need to pay attention to that are playing a role in your lower sleep score. Now, if we scroll down to sleep stages here, again, we can compare something like deep sleep, where on the Oura Ring, we saw 1 hour and 13 minutes of deep sleep. And on the Galaxy Ring, we got 1 hour and 15 minutes of deep sleep. Nearly identical there. And then again, if we compare the other sleep stages, you can see visually the graphs look pretty similar between awake, REM, and light sleep. However, the numbers are quite different. For example, when it comes to light sleep, I got 5 hours on the Oura Ring and only 3 hours on the Galaxy Ring. And for one more sleep comparison here, we've got the same night of sleep between the Samsung Galaxy Ring on the left and the Whoop Band on the right. And right off the bat, you can see there's a big deviation here. Again, with total sleep duration, the Whoop Band recorded 9 hours and 4 minutes, which is the most of all of these devices. And the Samsung Galaxy Ring recorded 6 hours, 56 minutes. The Whoop platform did give me a 100% sleep performance score because I only needed 8 hours of sleep and I got 9 hours of sleep according to Whoop, so that is a good thing from that perspective. And then scrolling down to the sleep statistics and the factors, again, we get similar information here, but laid out a little bit differently. For one more metric comparison before this video gets way too long, let's take a look at the Samsung Energy Score here compared to all of the other platforms. And first up, that's going to be the Whoop Band with the recovery score. So the recovery score on Whoop is a bit different than the Energy Score, but I can show it and hopefully you can kind of derive your own information from this. Recovery score at 76%. The Energy Score on the Samsung Galaxy Ring is at 57. Jumping over to the Oura platform compared to the Samsung Galaxy Ring here, Galaxy Ring on the left, Oura on the right, you can see the Energy Score on the Samsung Galaxy Ring is 57, and the Readiness Score from the Oura Ring, similar metric, is at 84, substantially higher. And then another comparison here is the Samsung Galaxy Ring's Energy Score at 57, where the Garmin body battery when I woke up this morning was at 75, which is very close to the Oura Ring at 84. And on top of the body battery from Garmin, we also have training readiness, where we got a 70 this morning on training readiness, and on the Energy Score from Samsung, we do have 57. So not similar there either. So what does all of this information and all of these comparisons actually mean? Which one is the most accurate? Honestly, I can't tell you for certain because I have no scientific way of testing out all of these metrics, and even things like body battery, readiness, Energy Score, they seem like such a variable that I don't know if there's any real way to quantify them. And like I said before, even the most advanced sleep tracking systems and machines out there right now are not super accurate either. So all this should be taken with a giant grain of salt. With that being said, all of these metrics I still think are pretty useful, and they're a great way to sort of validate how you feel in the morning. But I would caution you on putting too much weight on any of these metrics. They're fun to look at, they're fun to track, but none of them are going to be super accurate, and none of them should dictate how you live your life. They're all just sort of a gadget and a health and wellness tool for validating how you feel, and nothing more than that. In either case, this video is sort of open-ended. I'm not here to provide you with what device to buy, which one is better, what information is more accurate. All I wanted to do here is show you side by side how all of these platforms look and work and what information you can get from them, and give that information to you so hopefully it can help you make a purchasing decision. And with that, we have reached the end of this video, and if you're still watching this video, you probably liked it. And if you did like this video, I would really appreciate it if you dropped down and gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss more videos like this in the future. While you're down there, check out the video description down below, which will have links over to the Garmin, the Oura Ring, the Samsung Galaxy Ring, the Galaxy Watch Ultra, and all the other products I talked about in this video. Those links are affiliate links and they do help support this channel, but they cost nothing extra to you. And in the case of the Whoop Band, you'll actually save a couple of dollars by using my coupon, which is in the description down below as well. And after you check out those product links, make sure to check out the links over to my other social media accounts like my Instagram, my Threads, my podcast, and all the other stuff in the description down below, along with checking out my merch store over at chasetosummit.com, where you can buy a sweet t-shirt like this or a custom running hat. Check that out. Really nice stuff. And with that, that's the end of this one. I hope this wasn't too long. I hope you found it valuable, and I'll see you next time. Bye.